Welcome everyone to the second tutorial of the SandBox 2 editor. Today we'll be mainly focusing on how to make sand on the new island that you just created. Now these take a couple of steps, and as we go along with the tutorials they'll get a little bit more difficult as we go on, but again I'll be taking it very slowly, and if you follow all the steps you'll be able to make beach very easily. Of course, with this new tutorial you'll also be able to layer different objects, not just the beach and sand, but you'll also be able to use grass and all sorts of rock elements, and of course you can also layer on top of each other. So to get different creations you have to experiment, but with the tutorial I'm about to show you, you should get the idea of how to use layers and how to paint on the environment. So to begin with, we have our island here that we saw from the very beginning of the first tutorial that we made, and it looks pretty plain actually. No rocks, no sand, no nothing. So what today we're going to do is going to paint some sand on this and make it into a beach. So we'll get a little close here. Maybe we'll look at it this way, at the corner. You can always turn it around, move in, zoom out with the WASD keys. And what we need to do is, first we want to click on the terrain button. And what we want to do is we want to click on texture. And for all those who work with layers in Photoshop are going to be very familiar with layers. All layers are just layers of paint. Think of them as layers of paint. So we're going to be painting on top of the default layer which we see now. So what we want to do is we want to click on the new button, and we want to name it. So we'll name it sand. You want to usually name it something you remember, so you won't get confused when you have like 10 or 15 layers of paint. Okay, so click OK. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to click sand again. Click sand. And then when you see this edit surface type button, you have to click that. Now what we're doing here is we're telling the editor what type of surface we'll be walking on. So sand feels a little different than rock, and rock feels different than grass, so they all make different sounds. So we have to tell the editor what we'll be walking on. So here we want to click add, and under surface type we want to change that and rename it to sand. Click OK. And now we have the sand type of material, but now we want to tell it what we want to paint. So what it's going to look like depends on the material editor. So what we want to do is click on material editor now, and you'll be presented with three folders. You want to click on materials, double click materials, and then go all the way down and double click on terrain. And let me expand this so you can see it a little better. You want to click on beach white sand, and once it's highlighted you'll see this little box, square box. We'll show you pretty much what it looks like. Close this box. And what you want to do now is pretty much just click pick selected. Now what we're telling it is the one we just selected you want to choose as the material name. So now what should show up in here is materials / terrain / beach white sand after you pick the button of pick selected. After you do that, click OK. Now we still have this box that is showing the default texture. We don't want that. We want to load a new one. So we want to load the beach white sand .dds, and now it changed, as you can see. Now we click OK, and we are done telling the editor what type of paint and what type of surface we'll be using. Now we first have to go into the brush area. We go into the brush area simply by doing this. You have to just go to Tools. Oh, I should say View. Go on top of the menu bar, click View, Show Toolbox. Well, let me move that over in case you people didn't see that. View. Oh, hold on a minute, it's showing on the wrong side. Actually, I have to click View, Show Roll-Up Bar. Okay, it's View and Show Roll-Up Bar. So even I get a little confused, there's so many buttons. So you click View, Show Roll-Up Bar, and what you'll get is this. Now you want to click the second one here, the green icon. And when you click the green icon, what you get is this Layer Painter. Click on Layer Painter and you'll be presented with the radius and the hardness. I like to keep the hardness down to about medium. It depends on how much you want detailed. If you want just a little detail, you'll pull it all the way down to the left. If you want it medium, put it in the middle. And if you want it all the way hardness, how much paint you have. Just think of it as how much paint you have on your brush. You just have to go over it a little bit more if you have it too light. And now you'll be presented with this little green circle. Okay? And what you want to do, well, let me bring this over so you can see it. What you want to do is pretty much paint with it, like so. Just click the left button, and you just go back and forth over the thing. You can even go around the island if you like so. And as you can see, it's painting very nicely a sandy beach we're making here. And you make it around. You can make it on the edges of the beach. And it comes out a really nice look. If you want to make a little bit less. Now of course you can add more layers onto this, like a dirt layer to make it look more realistic. But pretty much you have to experiment on your own because there are so many different types of layers. It would be impossible to go through all of them. But this is just the basics on how you add layers on top of the island that you have. And once it's done, it looks pretty nice. So that's pretty much the there you go. You got a nice little beach there in the front, and you can add fences and you can add a whole bunch of stuff. But that ends today's tutorial on how to add a beach onto your island. Take it easy, folks. Be well. Bye.